Hi, in this video I would like to show you how to register for the UNCAC COSP11, the 11th session of the UNCAC Conference of the States Parties that will take place in Qatar, in Doha, from the 14th to the 19th of December 2025. The COSP11 is a UN conference organized by UNODC and Qatar. The UNCAC coalition is trying to facilitate civil society participation. So on the UNCAC coalition website, you find lots of guidance, relevant documents, links. And so our website, the uncaccoalition.org/COSP11 page is a good starting point. If you scroll down, you will see a section on COSP11 registration and attendance. You will see a link to the Indico platform, which is the UN platform through which all participants have to individually register. Before you go there, you need to make sure that you do have an official letter of your organization. We have a template here that you can download and adapt to your organization. And I will quickly show you what such a letter looks like. On top, you should insert still your organization's letterhead, or it's the organization's name and address. Update here the date. Then large parts of this section you can leave as it is. You just need to insert your organization's name here, down here, and also specify if your organization has or does not have ECOSOC consultative status. Then in this section, you have to include every individual that will represent your organization at the COSP. First name, last name, title, and the personal or individual email, individual work email of that person. If you don't quite know yet who will be able to travel, we would advise to include all possible participants, so that you have every scenario covered. And then finally, you need to have the name and title of the head of your organization, or whoever is allowed to formally represent your organization, and a signature of that person. Once you have that letter, you can go to the Indico platform. The link gets you to this page. If you don't have an Indico profile yet, you need to create one. If you have one, then you can just log in and go to register now for the COSP. That gets you to this page. Here, assuming that you are a civil society representative, you need to select NGO ECOSOC status if your organization does have ECOSOC consultative status with the United Nations, or NGO other if your organization does not have such a status. However, if your organization does not have ECOSOC status, then it's required that your organization already registered in May or June as an observer for COSP11. At this point, it's no longer possible for organizations to apply for this status. If the organization does have ECOSOC status, but has not received an invitation, it can still reach out to the UNCAC Secretariat and request an invite. So if your organization is not listed here as an ECOSOC organization, you can still request an invite. So you select, for example, NGO other, and then here in the drop-down menu, you will find all the approved organizations. You have to select the organization that you will be attending under. So basically the organization that has you listed in their delegation letter, in their official letter. So in my case, it would be the UNCAC coalition. I select that, if that works. And then down here, you have to upload a picture. You can also use your device to take a picture. It has to be a neutral face expression, and some other formal criteria have to be fulfilled as well that the platform will tell you. Then you have to provide personal details further down, list a functional title. These are usually diplomatic titles. So if you feel that your title is not listed here, select other, and then provide it in writing in the next field. Further down, you have to select your nationality, provide your passport number. work email address, and that has to be the email address that is also provided in the delegation letter. And then down here, upload the delegation letter I previously mentioned and a copy of your passport. Please be aware that your passport has to be valid at least 3 months beyond the COSP in order for you to get a travel permit. And then you can select here to save this data for future applications in the Indigo system. Assuming that all these issues have been resolved, then you can click apply. And starting from mid-October, UN officers will review the incoming applications and manually approve this. Once the participation or the registration has been approved, you will also receive a unique identifier that you can then use for the digital visa application. And more information on that process you find on the Qatari COSP11 website, cosp11qatar.com/visas. This tells you everything you need to know about applying for the Haya entry permit. That is, so to say, the visa that everyone will have to require who participates in the conference. We hope this was helpful. I wish you a successful registration.